So Sunday morning, church parking lot, engine still warm, and the woman who was supposedly done with the drama just opened her phone, hit go live, and started reading text messages out loud to God and 40,000 strangers at the same time. Y'all, let me sit with that for a second. Because whatever you thought was about to happen this week, whatever clean little narrative anybody was trying to sell you, Chrisean Rock just took a flamethrower to it from a church lot, in full lashes, with the gospel music probably still humming inside the building behind her. And by the time she was done, 3 women were allegedly pregnant. 1 man had ghosted his own son, somebody's brother had jumped on the internet to clock his own sister, and a Taco Bell bag became evidence in a paternity case. Welcome to the tent. Real quick before we get any deeper, y'all already know the drill. Like, subscribe, bell on. Comment, stay rowdy down there, and I read everyone. We doing this together. I'm not narrating at you. I'm building this out with you. Now, back to the chaos, because we ain't even at the bad part yet. Here's the spine of it, just so we're on the same page. Chrisean Malone, Rock, Crochet, whatever name you got saved in your phone, went live from a church parking lot this past Sunday and aired out Jonathan Porter, better known as Blueface. 3 women, 3 pregnancies. Allegedly, she named Jaidyn Alexis, she named Nevaeh Akira, and she named a 3rd, Rella, that the timeline barely had on its bingo card. Same week, Blueface caught a Baltimore visit nobody was supposed to know about. Same week, Chrisean's older brother Terrence got on his own platform to publicly hold his sister accountable. Same week, Nevaeh's old NBA YoungBoy tattoo came back into the conversation. Same week, Junior's paternity question got asked again, and Blueface said, and I quote, "Nothing has changed." The Shade Room report. That's the week. That's 7 days. Let's open up the evidence locker, because every single one of these threads is pulling on the other one. Before we go quote for quote, let's name the room, because the comment section keeps mixing these names up, and you cannot follow the chess game if you don't know which piece is which. Chrisean is the longest-running participant in this entire orbit, the mother of Blueface son Jr., and, as of Sunday, the self-appointed timeline narrator. She is also, importantly, financially independent enough to say on a live stream, "I have a net worth," which matters because almost every prediction the haters make about her ends with she's going to come crawling back for child support, and she literally preempted that take in real time. Jaidyn Alexis is Blueface's fiancée, mother of 2 of his children, and, per the spring proposal, the woman he picked publicly. She's the one with the least incentive to talk and the most leverage to stay quiet, and her 2-sentence Instagram replies this week show somebody who's been media trained by getting burned. Jaidyn Alexis on Instagram. Nevaeh Akira is the newest name in the orbit, currently pregnant with what Complex confirmed would be Blueface's 4th child, and the one sitting next to him on camera while he workshops paternity percentages in front of a global audience. Complex. Then there's Rella, the 3rd name Chrisean dropped. The timeline barely has a face attached to her yet. No confirmed photos, no public statement, no Instagram receipt as of Sunday night. Which means she's either being shielded, doesn't know she's been named, or is about to drop the loudest reveal of the entire arc picador. They all open into the same hallway. Junior, baby Jesus, is the actual 2.5-year-old at the center of all of this. He cannot post. He cannot defend himself. He is in the car. He is sometimes the reason for the trip. He is, in the most literal sense, the only person in this entire story whose timeline isn't his fault. And Terrence Porter, same last name, big brother energy, Chrisean's older brother, is the wild card nobody had on the bingo card. He's not a romantic stakeholder. He's not chasing a feature. He's the family member who decided that the internet needed to hear from somebody with actual blood in the game. Terrence Porter via Instagram. Cast set. Now the quotes hit different. Start with the woman herself. Mid-live stream, mid-rant, Chrisean told viewers exactly why she was distancing. "He got 3 girls pregnant right now," she said, before naming Jaidyn, Nevaeh, and the 3rd woman. Then she clarified, "She's heading to LA, but ain't for him. I'm just there to go work out with Coach Calvin, stay focused and stuff and whatnot." I don't know what's going on with that circus animal. The Shade Room. Circus animal. From the woman who has been in the tent the longest. Pause on that. Then Jaidyn Alexis got tagged in. Her response was short, dry, and surgical. I'm not pregnant. And it's not my fault, Blueface. Don't claim your baby. Jaidyn Alexis on Instagram. Then she capped it with a line that's been doing laps on the timeline, telling Chrisean she wouldn't read all that even if I was paid to. Cold, efficient, almost professional. Blueface himself, when asked directly if he was claiming Junior again. Nothing has changed. That's all I'm going to say. Per the live stream excerpt circulating across IG and TikTok. 3 words did the most damage of the week. On Nevaeh's pregnancy specifically, he said he was 80 to 90% sure the baby was his. 80 to 90. He said that out loud. About a confirmed pregnancy, with a number attached. And asked what he'd do if it wasn't his, he answered. Complex captured this on the record. I'll find another man and continue to her on the side. Complex. Bro. And this is the one XXL ran with, Blueface explained that he personally doesn't go get tested for STDs. Why? She goes to the doctor for both of us. Like when she go in and she come back and say it's clear, that means I'm good. I don't even gotta go get checked up. XXL magazine via official video clip. I'm not even gonna react to that one. Let's sit there. Let breathe. Let do its job. Last quote, Terrence, the older brother, who jumped online to address the fan base directly. He said the fans approach him in public, ask if he's Chrisean's father or brother, and when he tells them the truth, he tells them this. I love her enough to hold her accountable. Y'all just fans. Y'all idolize her. He doubled down later with, proof of my love is the big word that so many people hate. Accountability. No accountability, no growth. Terrence Porter via Instagram. Family said what family said. Moving on. But hold on, I gotta sit on Terrence one more beat. Because what he did is rarer than the algorithm is acting like it is. In a story where almost every voice is financially or romantically downstream of Blueface, Terrence is the only mic in the building with no rollout to protect. He's not selling a feature. He's not waiting on a verse. He's not subtweeting for engagement. He showed up, said the thing the comments section was already typing, and then logged off. Per vibe, that kind of family intervention from inside Chrisean's blood circle is the first time we've publicly heard somebody related by DNA, not by management contract, actually call her name on the internet. Vibe. The fans are framing him as the hater brother. I don't read it that way at all. I read it as the one person in the entire ecosystem who isn't auditioning. And that's why it lands. The timeline. Now stitch it. That Baltimore visit nobody was supposed to talk about. The one Jonathan disappeared for a few days for. The one his trainer accidentally hinted at in a post and delete. That sits inside the same window where Chrisean is in the gym mumbling. I want to say something. I'ma save it. Pin in it. Her words. The trip happens. The denial happens. The I'ma save it happens. Then by Sunday, she ain't saving nothing no more. Hold on. Let me actually back up because I almost ran past this part. The trainer's deleted post. The gym hint. Javon mumbling crochet in the background of a Jaidyn live stream while the kids are clearly listening to grown folks' problems. Nevaeh casually clocking him with 3 days. That's not one source. That's 4 separate accidental confirmations stacked inside a 72-hour window from people who weren't supposed to be saying anything. The math, like Nevaeh herself put it, was matting. And here's the part that actually matters for Jonathan personally, not just the gossip side of it. He's on probation, has been since the Vegas case wrapped. Per Vibes reporting, and confirmed by Las Vegas's 8 News Now, his last violation actually wasn't even about anything dramatic. It was about him traveling without permission. That's a trigger. Unapproved travel. So when half of Twitter is asking why he's denying Baltimore so hard, that's why. Because admitting it on a public stream isn't just a relationship problem, it's potentially a paperwork problem. Allegedly. I'm not his PO, but the file's right there. Now layer that against Nevaeh's pregnancy reveal. Complex confirmed it on the record. She's expecting her first child with him. Hot 97 and Capital XDRA both noted it would actually be his 4th child overall when you count the existing ones. Hot 97, Capital XDRA, and Jaidyn, the woman he literally proposed to back in the spring, the mother of 2 of his children, was the one publicly congratulating Nevaeh. That's the sequence. Proposal. Pregnancy with somebody else. Public well wishes from the fiancé. Trip to Baltimore to see the ex. 3 days. Denial. Sunday morning church lot exposure. Calendar collisions don't get more collidey than this. I want to slow down on the probation piece because most of the timeline is treating it like a footnote, and it is actually the single most consequential clock running underneath this entire story. Probation is not casual. According to 8 News Now, the vaguest terms attached to Jonathan's case included specific travel restrictions, check-ins, and the kind of geographic accountability that turns a weekend hop into a court date if you don't paper it correctly. 8 News Now, his most recent violation, per their reporting, wasn't a fight, wasn't a weapon, wasn't a substance. It was movement. He went somewhere he wasn't clear to be, and that alone was enough to put him back in front of judge. Now lay that against Baltimore. If, and I'm saying if because nobody in his camp has confirmed the trip on the record, but if Jonathan actually crossed state lines to Baltimore last week without filing the paperwork, then every denial he is currently posting isn't just damage control for Nevaeh. It's damage control for the docket. The reason nothing has changed keeps showing up in his vocabulary is because a man One, the Taco Bell bag. During the same live stream sequence, Blueface, or somebody near him, is on camera with a Taco Bell bag that has, written on it, the name Chrisean Malone. Not Nevaeh, not Jaidyn, the ex. The woman he's claiming is just a co-parent he's distancing from, whose name is sitting on the side of a fast food order in his immediate vicinity. Look, could be a coincidence. Could be a DoorDash glitch. Could be somebody else used her account. But somebody on his side ordered a chalupa under the name of the woman he's allegedly cutting off. Read that twice. The pen lives in details like that. 2. The intuition math. When Blueface said he's 80 to 90% sure Nevaeh's baby is his, chat, that's not love. That's a hedge. That's a man on camera, in front of a pregnant woman, publicly preserving 10 to 20% doubt. He even doubled down later, philosophizing about how no man should ever bet 100% on his shorty. On the same stream, where his pregnant shorty is sitting next to him, bro is workshopping his own out clause in real time, and the chat is just laughing. 3. The NBA young boy of it all. Nevaeh previously claimed, on camera, that the young boy situation was a brief phone intro, nothing more, that she never had his name in the first place. Cut to Blueface this past week, casually mentioning he and young boy actually talked about her. Laughed about it together. According to Blue, young boy basically said, same type. Same type, brother. That's not a phone intro. That's a receipt. Nevaeh's earlier denial doesn't survive Jonathan's casual cosign. I had to rewind that part twice. Because if the man you're with is openly comparing notes with another man about you on a public live stream and laughing, sis, that's not a flex. That's a flag. I want to add a 4th one because everybody keeps stopping at 3, and the 4th one is honestly the most damning piece of tape from last week. Days before Sunday's church lot live stream, Chrisean is in the gym. Mid-workout. Camera rolling, because there's always a camera rolling. She mumbles to nobody in particular, I want to say something. I'ma save it. 5 words. Then she keeps lifting. Her multiple gym clip re-uploads circulating on the Shade Room and the larger TikTok ecosystem. That moment was less than 96 hours before the Baltimore trip ended. The Shade Room. That clip is the unlock. Because in hindsight, that wasn't restraint. That was a calendar. She was telling the audience on tape that she already had the receipts, she already had the decision, and she was waiting for the right room and the right hour to drop them. The right room turned out to be a church parking lot. The right hour turned out to be Sunday morning. The composition wasn't accidental. Gospel hour, a baby in the car, mascara intact, no shouting, no slurring, no crash-out aesthetic. Just a woman calmly reading text messages out loud, while the choir was probably still on the third verse inside. Pair, I'm a save it with the Sunday live stream, and you don't have a meltdown. You have a release schedule. Watch how the major outlets slice this. Complex went clinical. Headline focused. They printed exactly what was said, attributed it, moved on. Their angle on the STD comment was almost surgical. They let his own words do the bleeding. Complex coverage. XXL leaned reactive. Their framing wasn't rapper make statement. It was closer to rapper make statement, and we were visibly concerned for the woman next to him. Different temperature. Same facts. XXL clip. The Shade Room played it like a soap opera recap. Wide net, lots of context, the kind of framing that turns this from a Blueface story into a Chrisean story. Their lens centered her as the narrator, which she literally was. From a church lot, with a baby in the car. TSR's post. Now here's the loudest countertake floating around. And I want to address it head on because I keep seeing it under every post. The argument goes, Chrisean's just hurt. She's bitter. She's exposing him because he proposed to Jaidyn and she didn't get picked. Steelman moment. I get the logic. The proposal was public. It stung. The timing of her sudden tell-all does feel emotional. But that take falls apart when you actually listen to what she said. She wasn't pleading for him back. She wasn't asking him to choose her. She explicitly said, and y'all heard it, I don't need to put nobody on no child support. I have a net worth. She said, keep your distance. She said, drop the baby off and leave. That's not a woman trying to win him back. That's a woman trying to extract her child from a situation while saving face for everybody else first. The text messages she read out loud weren't proof of jealousy. They were proof of receipts. Steelman dismantled. Next, before we go deeper into the analysis, real quick, let's read the room. Because the way the comment sections have stratified this week is its own piece of evidence. The Shade Room comments are split almost exactly down the middle, and the split tracks gender lines the way these things usually do. The women are quoting the STD line back at the screen with crying emojis. The men are defending the percentage hedge like it's risk management. The neutral middle is mostly asking the same question on repeat. Where is Junior right now, like physically? Who has him today? And nobody on the inside is answering. YouTube reaction channels, per the trend data, are leaning Chrisean for the first time in maybe 2 years. That is a shift. For most of her public arc, the broader internet has framed her as the chaotic one and Blueface as the cooler head. This week flipped that. According to engagement patterns visible on Complex and XXL, as clip reuploads, the views on Blueface's own quotes are outpacing his own music videos right now, and the top comments aren't laughing with him anymore. They're cataloging him. Complex EXXL. TikTok is doing what TikTok does. The 80 to 90% line is already a sound. The Taco Bell bag is already a meme template. The "she goes to the doctor for both of us" clip is being stitched with healthcare workers, OBGYNs, and at least one actual epidemiologist breaking down why that's not how any of this works. The audience didn't just watch the story. The audience is processing the story into shareable units faster than the man at the center of it can issue new statements. That's how you know the temperature has shifted. When the algorithm stops protecting you and starts indexing you, you lost the week. The popular read on this whole mess is that Blueface is just a chaotic guy doing chaotic guy things. Messy, reckless, can't keep in his pants. End of analysis. Nah, I think there's something colder underneath it. What we are watching in slow motion is a man systematically engineering plausible deniability around every single one of his obligations. Look at the pattern. Look at the language. He's not just denying Junior. He's denying him with a specific phrase, "nothing has changed," that he keeps recycling like a contract clause. He's not just claiming Nevaeh's baby. He's claiming it at 80 to 90%, with the leftover percentage preserved in case he wants to walk it back. He's not just skipping STD tests. He's outsourcing his medical accountability to his pregnant girlfriend on camera, like a guy who already knows the screenshot is going to live forever. This isn't messiness. Messiness is reactive. This is structured. Every public statement leaves him a door. Every claim has a footnote. Every, that's mine, has a percentage attached. He is publicly underwriting his own future denials, and the algorithm is rewarding him for it because the chaos is the content and the content is the check. And I want to push that one step further because the dollar logic underneath this is what really separates the chaos take from the strategy take. Think about who profits when Blueface says something insane on camera. The clip travels. Complex embeds it. XXL embeds it. The Shade Room embeds it. Every embed is a play count. Every play count is eventually a revenue figure. The man does not need a hit record to eat right now. He needs a hit quote, and he's manufacturing one every 48 hours. The 80 to 90% line alone, conservatively, has generated more media impressions in a week than his last 3 singles combined. Complex XXL. So when people ask, why would he say all this on camera? Is he stupid? The answer is no. He's not stupid. He's just operating on a different scoreboard than the one you're using to grade him. You're grading him on dignity, paternal responsibility, partner loyalty. He's grading himself on attention velocity. By his scoreboard, did he really just say that headline is a win? The cold part, and this is where the deniability piece locks in, is that the same chaotic quote that earns the clip view today is the same quote his lawyer can walk back tomorrow as performative or for the cameras. He gets paid on the way up and gets a legal escape hatch on the way down. That is the business model. It is dressed up as recklessness, but the math is too consistent for that. And here's the part that should make people uncomfortable. Chrisean knows this. That's why she went live Sunday morning. Not because she's hurt, because she's recognizing the playbook from the inside. She was the previous version of this exact rollout. She got proposed to in spirit. She got denied in court. She got juniored. She watched it happen to herself in slow motion. Now she's watching it happen to 2, possibly 3 other women in real time, and the only weapon she has left is a live stream and a church lot. The mainstream framing wants you to see her as the villain who couldn't move on. Look closer. She is the only person in this entire ecosystem who has lived through the full cycle and come out the other side with receipts. Terrence, her own brother, with no romantic stake, basically confirmed her instincts when he stepped onto the internet and said the fans don't hold her accountable enough. He wasn't dragging her. He was diagnosing the system around her. Terrence's full statement. And on Nevaeh, sis, with love, real love. The man you're with is on a public stream telling people his certainty about your baby caps at 90%. He is openly discussing his out if it turns out not to be his. He is using your prenatal appointments as his STD clearance. He is sliding back to his ex while you sit next to him. The tattoo conversation is the smallest red flag in that whole sentence, and it is still a red flag. Jaidyn, she's the one playing it smartest right now. Short responses, cold tone, no live streams, no church parking lots. It's not my fault, Blueface, don't claim your baby, was one sentence, and it ended 3 different arguments. Jaidyn's statement, she's the only adult in the building, and the building is on fire. And Junior, baby Jesus, the actual child at the center of this. He didn't ask to be a live stream prop. He didn't ask for paternity denials. He didn't ask for the church parking lot or the Taco Bell bag or the percentage hedges. He's the one piece of this story that should never be content, and he's the piece this story keeps reducing to content. That's the part nobody is saying out loud. So I'll say it. Now I want to zoom out 1 click further, because if you've been watching this orbit for more than a year, you already noticed it. This is not a new movie. We have seen this exact rollout before. The names just got shuffled. Rewind to the original Chrisean and Blueface paternity arc with Junior. The denial then was the same denial now. The phrasing was almost identical. The strategic ambiguity, the public, I'm not sure. The eventual semi-confirmation followed by a quiet retreat. All of it ran on the same loop. The Shade Room. S.O.N. archive. The language Jonathan used about Junior in 2023 maps almost one for one onto the language he's using about Nevaeh's pregnancy in this current cycle. Different woman. Same script. The Shade Room. Then layer the Jaidyn engagement arc. The proposal was public. The celebration was public. The fallout, vibe, was already being whispered about within weeks because the timing didn't match the relationship math the public was being sold. Vibe now, look at where Jaidyn is this week. Sitting in 2-sentence Instagram replies, refusing to engage, refusing to perform happiness, refusing to even pretend the rollout is the rollout we were told it was. That is not a fiancé vibe. That is somebody who has read the same script twice and decided not to audition for the third table read. The pattern is the product. Get a woman publicly. Get her pregnant. Hedge the paternity on camera. Trigger a counterstatement from the previous woman. Let the algorithm eat. Repeat. Each cycle generates more press than the last because the cast grows, but the script stays the same. And the audience, us, we keep showing up because the formula works. That's the uncomfortable mirror in this. The reason Blueface keeps running this play is because we keep paying for the ticket. The day we stop watching is the day the model breaks. Today is not that day. I'm here. You're here. The tent is full. Pulling out the crystal ball because the trajectory of this one is honestly readable from a mile away. Watch how the next days play. Chrisean lands in LA, trains with Coach Calvin like she said, and within a week somebody photographs her within 50 feet of Blueface anyway. Not because she's chasing, because the orbit pulls. She'll say it was a drop-off. He'll say it was nothing. The internet will not care about the distinction. The clip will hit 5 million views by Thursday. Don't be shocked when the third pregnancy, Rella, the name most of the timeline isn't even tracking yet, becomes the actual story 2 weeks from now. Jaidyn's already denied. Nevaeh is already confirmed. The math points to the unconfirmed woman becoming the next news cycle. Because that's where the heat is, and that's where Blueface hasn't built a verbal escape hatch yet. Once that name moves from rumor to receipt, the entire frame shifts. And here's the 5-year aftershock, the part that's going to outlive the headlines. Junior is going to be old enough to Google himself. Soon, years from now, when he's in a classroom or a green room or a courtroom of his own, the first results aren't going to be his accomplishments. They're going to be paternity denials, live stream rants, and a Taco Bell bag with his mother's name on it. The cultural residue of this week is not a Blueface problem. It's a Chrisean problem. It's a Nevaeh problem. But mostly, it's a Junior problem. And it'll be sitting on the internet waiting for him. The opposition narrative, the Blueface is just being Blueface. Let the man cook crowd. That one ages the worst. Because every time he opens his mouth, he adds another quote to the pile that future him is going to have to answer for. Whether it's a child support filing, a paternity test, a custody hearing, a reality TV deposition. The man is auditioning for his own legal montage in real time, and the algorithm is handing him the camera. Chrisean wins this one by losing it visibly. She walks away looking like the mature one, even though her exit was a church lot livestream. Because the alternative, staying silent, would have made her complicit in the rollout. She just survived. The receipts she dropped Sunday are the same receipts that get her custody clarity later. Petty in the short term, strategic in the long term. Same coin, two sides. Jaidyn just keeps doing what she's doing. One-line responses. No engagement past necessary. She'll come out of this with the cleanest narrative of any woman in the orbit, and she barely had to say anything to get there. Nevaeh, I hope she's okay. Real talk. I hope somebody in her circle who isn't on camera is checking on her offline. Because the part of this story that's getting buried under the jokes is that she is a pregnant woman watching her partner publicly hedge on her baby. That's not a punchline. That's a Tuesday. Let me give y'all 3 honest forks because the comment section keeps asking, okay, but what actually happens? And I don't want to leave you on vibes. Scenario 1, the soft landing. Blueface pulls back from camera for a few weeks, lets the temperature drop, lets Nevaeh's pregnancy progress out of the public eye, and quietly reconfigures the rollout. Jaidyn stays silent. Chrisean stays in LA. Junior gets a private birthday. The story half dies for 30 days, comes back in the spring with a podcast appearance where he workshops a new version of Nothing Has Changed. Probability, in my opinion, low, because everybody in this cast has a financial reason to keep the camera on. Scenario 2. The legal trigger. Per 8 News Now, S reporting on his current probation status. The Baltimore question gets formally asked by somebody who actually has authority to ask it. 8 News Now travel logs get reviewed. A check-in gets missed. Suddenly the same quotes that were entertainment last week become exhibits this week. He doesn't go away, but his ability to freestyle on live stream gets paperwork restricted in a way that changes the entire content output. Probability, in my opinion, medium. The clock is real, and he keeps starting it. Scenario 3. The Cascade. Rella speaks. The third name in Chrisean's live stream stops being a rumor and starts being a press cycle. Whoever she is, whatever her receipts look like, she becomes the domino that turns 3 women allegedly into 3 women confirmed. And once that conversion happens, the legal, financial, and reputational math compounds against Jonathan all at once. Probability, in my honest opinion, higher than the algorithm is currently pricing it. Chrisean would not have said her name in church if there wasn't a paper trail somewhere. Pick a door. They all lead deeper into the tent. The part that should make you uncomfortable. One last thought before I let y'all go. We have spent this entire video unpacking who said what, who's lying, who's hedging, who's mature, who's done. And it's been fun. It's been juicy. I'm in it with you. But I'd be lying if I didn't pause and say, the only reason any of this is a story is because we built an internet that rewards a man for percentage hedging a pregnancy and punishes a woman for going live from a church lot with receipts. The algorithm did not create this dynamic. It just discovered it would pay. If Chrisean had stayed silent this week, the comment section would have said she was complicit. She spoke, and now the comment section is saying she's bitter. There is no version of this in which a black woman raising a child inside an orbit like this gets the benefit of the doubt by default. And that, not the Taco Bell bag, not the 90%, not even the church lot, is the actual cultural artifact this story is going to leave behind. I'm not asking y'all to be soft on her. Terrence wasn't soft. I'm asking y'all to be even. If you're going to clock her receipts, clock his too. If you're going to grade her composure, grade his quotes. Same scoreboard, same week, same tent. The clowns are clowning. The tent is full. The lights are on. And the show, somehow, is just getting started. If you made it down here with me, you already know the move. Hit like, hit subscribe, bell on so you don't miss part 2. And there's a part 2 because Rella hasn't said a word yet, Jaidyn hasn't fully cooked, and Junior's still in the middle of all of it. Drop your read in the comments. Tell me who you think comes out cleanest. Tell me who you think's lying. Argue with each other. I'm reading. Celeb Virex out.